Welcome into the Landon Tengwall Show in episode 5 of Penn State Head Coach Profiles. Today, we are going to be diving into the profile of Texas A&M head coach Mike Elko. If you guys are enjoying all this head coach content, we are going to keep you up to date on everything here at the Landon Tengwall Show. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps out the channel, and we will make sure you guys have everything that you need. Today's video is brought to you by West Shore Home. West Shore Home is a home remodeling company. Them and their owner, BJ Wurzen, have been an integral part of Penn State NIL, supporting them from the beginning and obviously making huge donations to have West Shore Home Field at Beaver Stadium. Link to their website is in the comments below. All right, Mike Elko is a defensive-minded coach, but he wasn't calling the plays at Texas A&M. That was until last year. And this is probably my favorite part of just doing the research on Elko and finding this out. Texas A&M's defense was struggling pretty mightily in 2024. So he decided in 2025 that I need to take over the reins of being the play caller. Now, A&M's defensive coordinator, Jay Bateman, still holds the title of defensive coordinator, but Elko is running that defense right now. And Elko gave a quote. He talked about why he decided to make that change. Elko said, "I'm involved more with the defense because when something doesn't meet the standard, you're the leader of the program and you have two choices: point the finger or dive in and help fix it. My choice was to dive in." Absolutely love that. Take ownership. I love that in a head ball coach. I'm going to find solutions. That's the type of guy I want. Not, oh, we need to get better on defense and I'm going to talk to the coordinator. No, this is my specialty. I'm going to take over and we're going to right the ship. And Elko has done that and some. We're putting up on the screen now. This is how they were getting after the quarterback last year versus this year. So in 2024, 2.1 sacks per game, 51st in the FBS, and then 5.79% sack percentage. Sack percentage is how many passes the defense does versus how many sacks you're getting. So 51st and 75th, they bump up to 4 sacks a game and 11% sack percentage, first and third in the FBS. So we're going to take a look at this Elko tape in 1 second and show you guys how Elko's new and improved defense is just creating chaos for opposing quarterbacks. And one special piece of Elko being the head coach, but also the defensive coordinator, is he's on the sideline. Nowadays, almost every single offense and defensive coordinator is up in the booth. So on this tape, you're about to see the defense constantly look to the sideline and get new calls in. And sometimes it's when the play clock is dripping down. So yeah, you have the mic in the headset, so the play caller for the defense can talk to the defensive coordinator up in the booth, that green dot on his helmet. But at 15 seconds on the play clock, that communication cuts off. That's a rule. So with 10 seconds left, if the defense needs to, they can still look to the sideline and communicate with Elko. So like I said, you're going to see all of that. And a big change was Bateman, their defensive coordinator in 2024, was up in the booth. So I think that's a big change. You got Elko on the sideline. The communication is so much better. The vibe I get, Manny Diaz wasn't up in the booth. Manny Diaz was on the sideline, was always communicating. This defense reminds me a lot of it, just creating havoc and making it really difficult for opposing quarterbacks. So let's dive into this tape and show you how Elko has transformed this Texas A&M defense. All right, let's get into this Elko blitz and pressure package. How did he change this defense all the way around? Number one thing you're going to notice, the communication. That is what this takes to make this defense run, because they're always doing check with me, meaning that when the offense changes, so they bring the tight end into the backfield, so the defense says, hey, we're going to change too. So if you notice, eyes snap to the sideline, they're getting a new call in. And you really can't do that when your defensive coordinator's up in the booth, but the defensive coordinator now, aka Elko, is on the sideline and they're able to change with. You see how everybody's moving around? Hey, we're changing too at the same time. So you're getting a call in. 21 right here, York, their middle linebacker, does a great job looking over to the far side. Hey, you guys got the call? You got the call? All right, boom. Here we go. There's tons of communication in the Elko defense, but it's still fairly simple. It's all about creating good matchups. So let's talk about what he does up front and how he kind of manipulates the offensive line. So bringing York up like this, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up, and you have 5 offensive linemen. So naturally, what you are forcing the offensive line to do is go man-to-man. So right tackle's right here, man on him, 77, right guard's on him, center sticks on this nose. You got the left guard having to come all the way out here on him and the left tackle out here. So a couple advantages that you create for your team. If you're Elko, you put this guy as a wide 5 technique. The guard has to get all the way out here. So you're basically making the guard have to move like a tackle. Guards are used to their guy being right here or right here. Well, you put him out here. Now we're putting this guard at a disadvantage. So that's number one. The other thing that you're going to do, right? Watch this. You're going to drop out 21, so you're only rushing 4 guys. But what you have done purposefully is you lock this center on the nose. You knew they were going to do that, and you loop this nose over here. So what that does is naturally makes the center slide this way. Now, what you have done, you have isolated the left side of this line of scrimmage with these 2 offensive linemen. So you're 1-on-1. There's no slide. There's no center help to be here and help out with this. So now what you have is you're going to run a really nice stunt where this is going to be the penetrator. This guy's going to be the loop man. They do a great job both pressing vertical, getting this tackle upfield, and now last second, boom, I'm going to loop in, and they're out of position. This guard really isn't able to cover this thing up. You're getting pressure off the backside because there's so much thinking for the offensive line when they are going against a defense like this. So that is great stuff. So now, once again, like I said, York makes this defense run. You got to have a good communicator. So he's getting the call in, and then watch him. Auburn starts to change the call. My man York's saying, no. He's like, hold on. So he starts changing the call around. York is running this thing, man. He gives the arm. He's like, hold on, wait. I'm getting the call in. Look, that's the check with me. That's Elko being on the sideline. And it looks like, all right, we're sticking with the call because you're getting the same arm motion here, right? So stick with the call. Now let's pin our ears back and let's go in on this thing. And you get a free rusher, only rushing 5. This is 3rd down, so get some good completion, but you are off the field here. So let's talk about what they did to this offensive line. Once again, they're forcing them into protections they know they are going to run. So they're getting a 4-for-4 slide, meaning that these 4 offensive linemen, 1, 2, 3, 4, are responsible for these 4 defensive linemen for Texas A&M. So they know that this is all just getting slid to the right. So now what you have is, if you're A&M, you know if you bring at least, we'll let that go, if you bring at least 2 of these 3 guys, someone's coming free. Because this tackle can only block 1 guy, and you got 3 other guys up on the line of scrimmage. So now what you do is you bring this guy off the edge. Now the quarterback for Auburn knows, hey, I'm hot off him. That means if he comes, I have to get rid of this football. And he comes quickly, he deals it out there, and you're able to tackle them before he gets the first down. But what I want you to see is what they do with this too is you got 2 hot reads if you're this quarterback. That hot read basically means the quick answer to a blitz. So if you look at it right away, he can either look out here to his right and get this out, or he can look to his left out here and get it out because there is some space. But this is part of the Elko defense. He wants to bait you into it. He's going to bring blitzes, but he's also going to mess with you. So what you're getting super quickly is these drops, this linebacker getting into his drop to intercept and take away this hot read. So the quarterback sees that and he can't throw it. And now you get the same thing on the other side. If you want to throw quick to this hot read, you got this guy dropping, taking that away. So you're not only are you sending 5 and getting someone home free because you're manipulating the offensive line, you've also taken away the quick reads that the quarterback wants. It's 3rd and long. He's got to dump it off. You make the tackle and your defense gets off the field. So great job. Fantastic stuff right there. Here you go. Once again, Auburn, as they're checking the play, our guy right here, York, turns. He says, hold on, everybody. Everybody hold on. Give us 1 second. All right. We're good. He says, all right, it's the same call. We're good here. Let's roll. And you see another exotic blitz that comes free. I mean, this team, they bring some of these blitzes and they are so good at them. They force a full slide and then they are able to take full advantage. So let's break down exactly what happens here. Once again, you're going to do the same thing. Like I said, they know what they got them in. They got them in this 4-for-4 slide. So ignore the tight end, but you have, once again, 1, 2, 3, 4 for 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. So you're going to get this full slide, except once again, you're dropping someone out of this slide. 52 right here is reacting late to this linebacker plugging. So once again, manipulating them, making them late here. You're getting in here. 65 is not even blocking anybody. Buddy's just playing with himself and his imaginary friends up here, while you got 3 guys meeting at the quarterback. This is what the Elko defense does. All right, let's continue to talk about Elko creates confusion for these offensive line this past pro. So look at my man at right tackle instantly. He's questioned himself. He says, hey, bro, hold on. We got to go out here. There's someone you guys can't even see off the screen all the way out here that's pressing up off the ball. So he says, hey, do we got to go out here? We got to go out here. And then the right guard looks at him and says, nah, man, I don't think so. I think we're right here and we're right here, right? And it's like, okay. I mean, you see, anytime you see this right here, what I want you to see, like the head, watch his head. It just keeps going back, forth. If there's a lot of guessing going on. They don't know what they are doing. They are confused. And when you are an offensive lineman, speaking from experience, and you're confused, you're in a bad place. You're playing slow. And guess what you are getting? A free blitz. Quarterback barely sees it. Bow! Getting lit up. He does get it out, but it's quick, and he is getting hit up. So this is another piece of like what it does. A big piece of this Elko defense is show a ton of pressure one area, right? And then we're kind of dropping out of it and we're bringing it elsewhere. And so that is what's so challenging for these offensive linemen and just pass protection as a whole. Always manipulating these guys. So you got some stand-up people. You got 21 right here. So we're going to do the same thing that we did earlier. He is forcing a man, right? And gets really good pressure here. Once again, he isolates. He only is rushing 4, but what he's done again is he has isolated the left side of this offensive line. If we talked about it, every time you're able to get these one-on-ones, that's when you run these stunts. That's when you go here and then a loop around. That's when you're able to do it. If you have the center kind of coming with you in the slide, it's not as easy to run the stunts because when this guy loops around, he's meeting the center. But they manipulated the center by bringing 21 up. Now you get a great stunt. You get penetration here, and the looper is able to get around, and you just, once again, party at the quarterback. There is a reason the Elko defense numbers look so good. It's because they're having a party at the quarterback almost every single time. So plays like these show that. It's just creating matchup advantages for your players, putting them in great places. It reminds me of the Manny Diaz defense, if you want me to be honest. Last one, really interesting here. So they're going to bring this 4-up look on one side and then a really wide 9-tech over here. It's 3rd and long, and they're kind of forcing Auburn to say, hey, we're just going to run the ball, actually. And now what's interesting here is you get this cornerback flying in unblocked to come make this tackle. You run the ball. You barely get any yards anyways. So what I want you to see is they know, and they are kind of baiting this Auburn offense to either run the ball, and if they do, that's fine. You basically bait them to block all of these guys, and you have this cornerback coming in. So if it were a pass or a run, it doesn't matter. This cornerback's coming free. So I love how they bring this wide 9 up the field, and they loop this guy into the B gap. So if it were a pass, no matter what, this guy's coming in scot-free. Now, it just so happens he's a run, so he's also coming in free and just gets to make the tackle. But if this was a pass play, Auburn's quarterback would be getting lit up. So, I mean, overall, this Texas A&M defense, the looks they bring, the stunts, the pressures, the blitz, it is next level. So Elko seems to check every single box that we're putting out there. You've seen the scheme. He's a great defensive mind. He's a Jersey guy. Played his college ball in PA, great Power 4 coaching experience versus top 10 teams. His record, 4-3. That's pretty damn good. And he's shown that he can recruit at an elite level. In 2025, he had the number 10 recruiting class in America. And then this past year, 2026, that he's about to sign, 6th best recruiting class in all of the land. Not only recruits, Elko can put together a staff too. He's obviously a defensive-minded guy. He was able to hire in Colin Klein as offensive coordinator, who was very sought after. In 2023, when he was open, Penn State wanted him. He was the other person between him and Kotelnicki that Penn State really wanted. Well, A&M was ready and was able to land him. So all fantastic news, information. Elko should be the guy, right? Well, the issue, his availability. So right now, Penn State and Pat Kraft have to consider the college football calendar. Texas A&M is on pace to likely play into early to mid-January. And Penn State has already lost most of their 2026 recruiting class at the moment. By the way, National Signing Day is less than a month away, December 3rd, so coming very quickly. So if you were to wait for Mike Elko, you are not only essentially sacrificing your 2026 recruiting class because you're not going to have anybody sign if you're waiting for Elko. You are not putting yourself in optimal position to attack the transfer portal. The transfer portal now, only one window. There's no spring window. It's just one time in January 2nd to the 16th. So if Elko, let's just say he lost on those second round of games that are generally played right around New Year's, if he were to do that, he doesn't arrive until early to mid-January. The portal's already open. That's probably too late, because I'll tell you right now, agents and players, they aren't just hopping in and talking to people as soon as the portal opens. There's agents and players talking to other teams right now as we sit here in November. So people, when the portal opens, 50% of people already know where they're going to go. So you need a head start. So ultimately, Mike Elko would be labeled an elite hire for Pat Kraft. But I just don't think his timeline is going to line up with Penn State, and it just logistically would not be able to work out. Appreciate you guys tuning into this one. Indiana film breakdown on Mendoza and that passing attack. It's coming at you guys hot tomorrow, late morning-ish time, and then we will have another coach profile out for you guys tomorrow evening. That one is going to be a hot name, someone that is rumored to just be interviewing with Pat Kraft, possibly. So it's going to be a fun one. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.